Hi there, and welcome to the Still Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Fortune Fowle, and if you're new here, welcome to a space that's all about progression, not perfection. The fact that we are becoming people, which means we have not arrived at who we're meant to be yet, but we are just getting to our destination. And so I invite you into this space and happy Still Learning Monday. Hey guys, how you doing today? How's it going? I hope your morning's off to a really good start. It is getting a little bit chilly over here, but one thing about me is that I thrive in the more chilly climates and weathers. Like, guys, I love me a good hoodie, I love me a good sweater, and then I finally get to wear like hats. I know you can wear hats like other seasons and other times of the year, but just specifically hats like this. And I honestly don't know if bucket hats are still a thing. I don't think they're still trending. I don't think they're really still like a thing for people, but for me, they will and always will be. Like, this is iconic, and you can't tell me anything else about it. Like, genuinely, you cannot. And so, I'm honestly having a really good morning, guys. Like, it's just really nice when you wake up. No, like, okay, one, we thank the Lord that we woke up and saw another day, but it's just really nice when you wake up and your day just feels light. There's no stress, there's no tension. You kind of just have like this lightness with you that goes with you throughout the day. And that's what I feel today. Like, I just feel calm, I feel at ease. I feel like I was well rested, like I got some sleep. I think it might also be the fact that this past weekend I went home for a couple of days, which was so good. Just to one, see my mom. I love my mom so much. She generally is like a gem of a human being, and I don't show it often, but I'm absolutely obsessed with my mother. I love her so much. So I love any time I get to be with her, and I also got to be with my sisters, of course. I love them too. Yeah. Yeah. I just loved being able to spend time with my family. I got to see some friends of mine from back home that I grew up with, and I always cherish those moments. Like, I feel so grounded during those times, and life almost feels slower. Like, I feel like right now my life, everything like amped up and it's so fast, and I'm experiencing new things all the time, which I'm so grateful for. But it's nice to have moments in life where you just kind of feel this level of like familiarity that's so comfortable, that feels like if it's always been there, you've always known it, like, and just to honestly fall back into the natural paces of life with people, it's as if time has never passed, and there's this natural rhythm that automatically comes and happens. Same thing when I see some of my childhood friends that I grew up with. It's as if no time has passed, as if we haven't seen each other in years. Like, it's just those moments to me, I cherish them so deeply, and I'm so grateful for them. And so I loved being able to go back home and just have that time, I feel like, to reset, to just relax, to not have any stress or any responsibilities. I feel like those moments in life are things that as I get older, I cherish so much more, because I love to be busy and have something constantly going on nonstop. And when I don't have something going on, I feel very restless. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, something needs to be happening. What am I doing? But just those times, I really am trying to appreciate them more and more, because they definitely come few and far between. Like, as you get older, like, those moments to just rest and reset, you have to be so much more intentional about setting time to do that. And so I'm grateful that I got to do that this past weekend. Also, me and my family went to the movies, and I'm not a huge movie person, but there was one specific movie franchise that just added a new movie to their roster that I had to go see. Like, had to go see, guys. There was no way I was gonna miss this movie. Actually, me and my other sister, we absolutely love and adore this franchise, and it is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Also, the third movie in the franchise, and it is so good. So good. If you have not seen that movie, if you have not seen that franchise, I actually need you to go watch 1 and 2, and then go watch the third movie in theaters right now. And this is not even me promoting this, having a sponsor. If they want to sponsor me in the future, feel free to, because I heard that a fourth movie is in the works, and I will be sat with popcorn in my hand, reclined, fully watching it. It was so good, guys. And I mean, if you don't know this franchise, honestly, it's just about magic. And like, if I could put it simply, and I don't mean like supernatural magic, I mean like magic tricks. Like, cut a box in half and you separate the body, put it back together, abracadabra. Like that kind of a magic. Like, I just love, I love tricks. I love all of that. Just like, it's so good. So, me and my family went to go see that this weekend. And it was actually hilarious. I sat next to my mom, and my mom my mom's reaction during the whole movie, she was like, "Magic? Oh my God." I mean, she's African. Like, if you truly have African parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's like, "Oh my gosh, there's magic." She's like, "I'm scared." Guys, this is not a horror movie. It's not a thriller. Like, it honestly is like a comedy. And she's terrified right now. Like, it was so funny seeing her reactions. But I absolutely love the movie. Definitely would recommend 10 out of 10. But it definitely, in seeing that movie, had me thinking about movies because I have been waiting for this next, like, what is it called? The next edition? Next franchise? Next movie? next next part of this franchise to come out for almost 10 years. I mean, 10 years ago, they announced that a third movie was in the works. And so as you can tell, I've been waiting a long time for this to come out. And so I'm not a huge movie person, but this has been something that I have been waiting for. And it had me thinking about movies and movies that genuinely bring me so much comfort. Cause that's really me as a movie person. Like, I can rewatch the same movie over and over and over again. Any movie that brings me any sort of nostalgia or just makes me feel like at home, I can watch that movie nonstop. It's very rare that I'm, like, watching new movies. Like, it just takes a lot out of me, and I really don't know why. Like, I can't tell you guys why, because I can fully sit down and watch a series back to back to back in one sitting, but ask me to watch a movie, I cannot do it. Like, it's actually so strange why that's, like, a thing for me, unless it's, like, a movie that just brings me so much comfort and so much joy, like, I can watch it over and over again when you recommend a new movie to me, and I can genuinely wanna watch the movie. Like, guys, there are movies that come out and I wanna watch them. I look at the trailer, I'm like, "Yeah, I should watch that movie. Looks really good. Looks like something I'll be into." Will not watch it until 3 to 5 to honestly sometimes 10 years have passed. That is when I will finally get around to watching that movie, especially when the movie is overhyped. When something is really hyped up, it does not make me want to watch it. It actually does the opposite effect on me. I'm like, I don't want to be let down. And like people are really setting the bar really, really high. So I'm gonna wait till it's like no longer a topic of conversation. Everyone has forgotten about it. I think 3 years is a good amount of time, and then I'll finally get to it and watch it, and then really be able to formulate my own opinion on it. So that's me with movies. And so me watching this movie franchise just shows how much I've been dying to watch it and just to watch a new movie. Clearly, that this is a big deal. This is a big deal, guys. A big deal for me. And I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, like what movies really get me like this? Because there is not a lot of movies that I'm just like, I need to watch this. I have to watch this. I cannot miss this. Like, or there isn't just like a lot of movies out there that I'm like, oh, I can just sit here and watch you a million times over. There is a couple, and one of them that I was thinking of is actually what sparked the conversation that I want to talk about with you guys today. I know that was a long lap to even get to this point. I just had to quickly shout out that movie. Please go see it. If you have not seen it, now you see me, now you don't, in theaters now, in a theater near you. Again, not sponsored. But hey, I'm here if you want to sponsor me in the future. But the movie I'm thinking about is The Duff. And this is, guys, I'm fangirling right now. This movie is iconic. Iconic coming of age movie, an iconic movie that honestly made me feel so seen as a young girl. And that movie is The Duff. If you do not know what The Duff is and what that even stands for, it stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. Controversial. I get it, but hear me out. This is like definitely, you know how that trend's been going on, like, hear me out, hear me out. Like, The Dove is definitely a hear me out movie because it is so good, so funny, so realistic, and it has touched my soul in ways that other movies have yet to do. It is one of the few movies that have mastered that within me. And the reason why I even thought of this movie and why it even was something that I want to talk to you guys about today, as we're in the spirit of talking about movies, it is because of the impact that it had on me, and also in relation to a conversation that I had with one of my friends this past weekend, where we were talking about growing up, and in this conversation, we were kind of eating each other up. And Jenny, I love this friendship so much because we will tell each other the truth the most loving way possible. There is no sugarcoating between the two of us. And so we were having a really honest conversation with each other about certain decisions that we were making in life that were clearly stemming and rooted in trauma, specifically trauma in growing up as the Duff. I was the Duff. And honestly, maybe in some sense, the world by societal standards, I am still the Duff. And how that affects you and you're growing up and you're thinking being quote unquote the designated ugly fat friend. And that is genuinely why you guys need to watch this movie because it talks about that. And I think the reason why I relate so much to the movie and why it has such an impact on me and why it's such a comfort movie for me is because it really is one of the first movies that I felt so seen, like younger me, but like I am her. She is me. Like it wasn't a movie where like, oh, woe with me. Everyone should be feel bad for me. Like no, like it was this girl who was confident and who was just like, screw that. I'm gonna be who I am. And being who she was still like amazing and worth it. And she still got the guy at the end of the day. And she didn't change who she was. Like she was still her. And it's so good, it's so good, it's funny, it's hilarious, guys. Like, the comedy in here is rich, pure laughter. And so, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube for free. You know how YouTube does those free movies? I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube for free, so you guys should definitely go ahead and watch it. But yes, I was the Duff, and I think it was one of the first times in my life where being quote unquote the Duff, and honestly, I love saying that. Like, I love being like, I was the Duff. Like, there's something about that word that's just so like cookie cutter, so cute, so niche, so cutesy, so demure. I don't know if Duff is a very demure word, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna take it on where it was a word where I felt so empowered by it. I was like, yeah, I am the Doc. And that was actually the whole point of the movie. But like it worked. Like if that was the message and the message was influential and the message had its impact, it made it. It reached me. And so we were talking about that and how when you grow up as the Doc and you are no longer insecure and you have so much more of a confidence in value and self-worth within yourself. And you just realize, I have always been that girl. I have always been that girl. Just because other people didn't recognize it during that time doesn't mean that I was not still that girl. Like, I've always been her. It just took me a bit longer to recognize that. Like, you learn that for so long growing up, you're waiting for someone else to recognize what's so special, what's so unique, what's so amazing about you. You're waiting for someone to affirm that when really all you need is to affirm that within yourself and develop that level of confidence and self love. And we were talking about how the shift of when people do start to recognize that. Like, I think you need someone else to recognize that first before you recognize that within yourself. But the actuality is the moment you recognize it within yourself is when people around you start recognizing it because you start moving differently. The way you talk, the way you walk in a room, the way you carry yourself, literally the way you carry yourself completely shifts and you become so magnetic. Like confidence is magnetic. Someone who's self assured within themselves is so attractive. And so you're going to attract people towards you. And so we were talking about how when that shift happens, guys start checking for you. When girls start wanting to be your friend and wanting to get tips on from you about makeup and your clothes and what you're doing and like all these different things, when that shift happens, the psychological warfare that comes with it, like because there is a legitimate psychological battlefield that happens. And I can fully say that because I was the Duff. Like, I was fat growing up, and I have no problem saying that I was fat. And in some ways, I might still be considered that. Like, and that doesn't bother me because I've never felt like that is a bad thing. I'm very much a big proponent on being healthy. Be healthy. If you're healthy, doesn't matter what healthy doesn't have a look. So as long as you're healthy, vibe, live your life, live your best life, actually. And so for me, I have no problem saying, like, yeah, I was fat, I grew up fat, and I was bullied for it, like, a lot. Like, it was very much a major pain point in my life, I definitely think, in my early childhood for sure. Because when you're relentlessly bullied for that, and when it becomes such an object of discussion, and when it becomes something that people use to hurt you, it's so easy to view it as a very negative thing. This level of awareness of yourself and of your body at such a young age can be really demoralizing in some sense and really impact your image of yourself. And we can definitely unpack that another day because I would love to fully talk about just growing up fat and overcoming that and just shedding off societal ideas and struggling with food and eating and then also struggling with getting attention. It's a whole gamut of things. There's so many nuances that surround it. But when you move past that space, right? When I lost weight, when I got actually, I never even got skinny, guys. Let's be so for real. Never even got skinny. And that's okay. I actually don't desire to be skinny. At the end of the day, I want to be healthy. And I am. So I think I'm winning in life. No, I am winning in life. But but when I started getting older and being so much more confident in myself and being more confident in my body, like when I really started embracing who I am, like, and that I am someone who loves to just try a lot of different things, a lot of different makeup styles, and just be creative and expressive in also my outer appearance, I just became so confident in that. It definitely attracted people towards me. And I think when that started happening, I definitely did not handle that attention correctly, male validation, seeking that. But as we grew further in our relationship with Christ and we saw that the only validation we need is from the Father, things definitely changed and I wasn't seeing that anymore. And my confidence only enhanced and got greater from there. Generally, I just felt so much assured in who I am because of whose I am, because of God. I remember I would always make the prayer and I still make that prayer to this day of like, God, help me to love me as you love me. Like, help me to see myself as you see me because you see me as precious and as worth more than rubies and a treasure. Like, I need to see you as you see me and more than I embrace that who I am and that the creator of all things created me. That is a flex. Like, that actually is a flex. Like, and that is not something that makes me cocky. It makes me confident because my confidence is in him, in the one who created me. And so when you're walking that out and you're experiencing that, there is walls that also come up with that, and that's what me and my friend were talking about in the car because she was eating me up, I was eating her up. Like I said, we are very honest with each other, very transparent, very vulnerable with each other. It was hard to receive some of the things she was saying to me, but it was also so needed because I was like, I needed to hear that. You're right, I do have a wall. I do have a wall. There is this hardness here. There is this level of I don't trust myself. And you're telling me this all stems from my childhood? You're telling me I still have to work this out? Oh my gosh, like we were literally talking about like, dang, I just have to be self-aware. Like sometimes you're just like, you're like, I had to be self-aware. Like, why? I mean, we know why. It's good, it's important. We talked about that earlier this season, the importance of self-awareness. And so, yay. Woo. But genuinely, we were like, okay, this wall, this hesitancy really is coming from a place of growing up as the Duff and just feeling very guarded when it comes to receiving people, especially male attention and being open to dating. and feeling, oh, guys, like, and you, that's like, as I'm speaking, I'm also thinking about the movie, and genuinely that I'm just like, that movie really just told my story. Like, I'm so grateful for that movie because we were talking about it, and it was just like, when you have certain interactions with the opposite sex or opposite gender or whatever you want to call it, platonic, romantic, whatever it may be, having those past experiences as a it definitely can be hard to receive them. And hard to even trust yourself in those moments, trust your feelings, trust what you're going through, because honestly, experiencing things where you're like, oh, now I'm good enough for you to want, like, now you want to be around me, now you want to pursue me, or like, oh, I'm good enough to like, but not good enough to be serious or date. And you see other people who are more societally acceptable and who are not the Duff be able to be the people who they are able to make serious and not hiding and not having them be a secret. I'm like, why am I the secret? But you're out in the open with her and she looks nothing like me. She's lighter than me, she's skinnier. And this isn't a comparison thing, but when you have those experiences and not just once but multiple times, or if those have only been your experiences, or you're enough to be hypersexualized but not enough to be doted upon and seem like more innocent and more pure. I don't even know how to explain it. It just does something, and it definitely makes you weary of being open to those situations, and it definitely makes you question if you like you're it makes you gaslight yourself. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it makes you gaslight yourself, like, oh, is he even really that interested in me? Oh, does he really like me? Oh, do they even really want to be around me? Like, do they even want to be friends with me? Like, you're constantly wondering those things because you've had these experiences on numerous occasions. And when we were talking about this, it was like something I needed to hear because I still had that wall. Like, well, actually, no. Here's what happened. I had that wall, the wall came down, a situation occurred, the wall came back up. And she called me out on that, which I appreciate, but I was like, it was kind of frustrating, guys, because it was like, dang, I had to, I just put this down, and now I have to put it down again. Like, where you just want to not have to keep having to return to the same place where you just work through. You're like, I just worked through this. I have to work through it again. And maybe that's also life. Like, certain things, it might just be an ongoing process you're constantly gonna have to work through throughout life and really be ensuring that like those walls don't come back up. And so now I'm in the process of I'm being reminded that, oh, what I'm doing now, certain behaviors, certain walls that I have up being distant in this way is because those feelings that I had growing up as a Duff have literally resurfaced. Literally have come back to the surface to haunt me. And now I have to do the work of breaking it back down. So how do I do that again? Like, how do I n- do that? I watched a Duff. See that movie. How did my girl Becca do it? How did she do it? And honestly, she just showed up as herself, and she was open to people not accepting her for who she is. Being like, that's okay. Not everyone has to accept me for who I am, and not everyone has to take me for who I am, and that's perfectly okay. I love who I am, and that's all that matters. And I want to be able to open myself and share myself to people who want that and want to see that. And the people who don't, screw you. Like, and it's as simple as that. And I think as me and my friend were discussing, we were just talking about, we were like, hey, this is something you do. You're self-aware. That's good. But you have to go one more step beyond this. And she was just encouraging me. She was like, just stay open. And that line alone and that reminder to just stay open. It's so hard to stay open, guys. I know people are like, be open minded, like, But it's actually a lot easier to be closed. Like to be like, hey, we're closed for shop, opening inevitable at some point. Maybe we're closed right now. It's temporary, maybe permanent. It's like nothing. Sometimes it's just easier to be closed and shut off because it protects you from hurting yourself. And I realized that I have a wall around my heart right now. And it's not even like a wall that's clear. No, it's like cement. It's like cement walls. It's a box and pretty tight. There might even be a chain around it, the lock and key that I might have just thrown away because I don't even want to attempt to open it. And I have brought it to prayer, guys. Don't worry. I brought it to prayer. I brought it before the Lord. And I think sometimes the excuse that I could give myself is, but in your word, God, you said, guard your heart. Yeah, he says guard your heart, but he does not say like have a whole like Area 51 like fence system, security system going on around your heart. Like, no, like you can guard your heart with fences, not just walls. I mean, he literally tears down walls. What happened to the wall of Jericho? He tore that down, Fortune. So there's other ways to guard your heart. That doesn't mean blocking the things that he also wants you to receive. Because that's the thing. When you have a wall, it stops things from entering in and things from going out. So when I have this wall up, yes, it stops me from getting hurt. But it also stops me from experiencing things that can bring me joy and peace and laughter and honestly open my eyes to new things in ways that I didn't realize I can experience and be loved and cherished in these ways. And so it hurts me still, just in a different way. And I was like, dang, here it goes again. And I just have to work on that. I have to work on bringing those walls down. That doesn't mean get rid of your defense system. Like you still need to guard your heart. Just means guard it differently. Guarding it looks a bit different. You can still be open with wisdom, right? You can still be open with discernment. And even thinking about the Duff, thinking about that movie, thinking about how I was the Duff and just the perspectives and how that influences me still to this day, clearly. It still has some sort of impact me on this day. It's just a reminder that you can overcome that though. And it doesn't have to always be that way. And it doesn't have to be this negative thing either because that movie just turned the whole perspective of the Duff around. It went from being this negative thing to this thing that people embraced and were like, oh, I love that. I am the Duff. I love being the Duff. And I love who I am. And I'm going to share that with the world. And whoever is willing to take that can take that. And who doesn't. It's up to them. It has nothing to do with me, though. And I'm trying to do that one day at a time. I think I thought I was a lot more far ahead, a lot more better at doing that than I thought that I was. But again, sometimes you go through circumstances and situations in life that remind you, oh, you thought you were a bit further than you were, didn't you? Oh, no, 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 no. Like you thought you were here, you're here. Like that's really what it feels like. But I don't know. I'm working through it right now, guys, and I'm learning how to have an open heart. I'm learning to trust myself because I think there is a level of distrust that I have right now with myself. And I'm a smart girl. I'm a smart cookie, guys. And I very much I, I can be an overthinker, but I'm not that much of an overthinker. Like I'm very good at being logical and being set in reality, but I'm having a hard time trusting myself and trusting my feelings and emotions right now, if I'm being really honest. And I think it might, maybe that's why I also just have this wall up because I think it's just easier to kind of not feel anything at all because it limits the risk of confusion. Like, to me, it just limits the chances of being confused because emotions sometimes can be hard to decipher and feelings, and I, it can be hard. No, it is hard. And so I'm constantly navigating that right now and trying to figure it out. And I think that's part of life. You constantly have to kind of recircle back to that. And some things you just have to recircle back to and work out again. And it's okay if you take a couple steps back. if you're still willing to take a couple more steps forward. I took 2 steps forward, now I'm taking 3 steps back, but I'm gonna take 6 steps forward from here. Like, it's okay to reinvent the wheel sometimes. It's okay. Maybe you need to just do another lap. Like, it's okay. And I think I'm figuring that out now. I think I'm learning that it's okay if this part of your life or this chapter of your life or this instant in your life isn't as fully closed as you thought it was. And maybe that doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it doesn't mean that you haven't moved on. Maybe it just means there's another thing to learn here. There's another thing to grasp onto. There's another truth where you may have not been at the point of maturity, the level of understanding, or honestly, maybe you're just at a point where you held way too much bitterness to be able to accept this truth. But now you're at that point where you're a lot more softer, you've forgiven a lot more, and you're in this place where this truth can now be revealed to you in a new light, and you're able to receive it the way you're meant to, and it can propel you to become better. So, revisiting this part of your life doesn't mean that you haven't moved on. Maybe it just means that there's another truth, another thing that you can learn to help you be even better as you're moving forward. And so, yeah, all of that from a movie. Like, like, all of that from a movie. Maybe now I really do get it, like, with movie, like, fanatics and why they're so invested in it, because really, some movies can just have that impact on you. I'm fully having this dialogue conversation, fully thinking these things throughout with you guys, all because I thought of a movie, watched a movie called The Duff that resonated with me so deeply and made me feel so seen, and it's still something that I am able to connect with now and still able to help me move through life and kind of see where I'm at and ways I can grow. It is fascinating, truly. But if you are someone who can relate to the experiences of being the Duff, and I will proudly be like, I was the Duff, I am the Duff. Like, I feel like that's such a slay term. Please comment that down below. Please share your experiences, your thoughts. Also, movie recommendations. I cannot say that I will watch them right away. That would be a lie if I make that promise. I can't say that, but please put some movie recommendations down in the comments, and I just might watch them 3 to 5 to 10 years from now. But please go see The Duff. Please watch that. And if you do, please put your thoughts in the comments. Like, absolutely put your thoughts in the comments. No, I said that right. Please put in the comments what you think and what that movie made you feel, if it made you feel anything. And also, if you see, now you see me 1, 2, and 3, because you actually have to watch all 3 now. Like, you can't just stop at 1 or 2. You have to watch all 3 because they are all masterpieces. All of them. Also, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. And so, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's conversation, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Still Learning. Bye!